Mere fees from where the Georgia Dome stood and the Falcons played for a quarter century. We're looking at the team's home since the 2017 season. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Coming up, we have a good one for you. Between the Cleveland Browns and the Atlanta Falcons. Ryan Fitzgerald all set to get this one started. And we're underway in Atlanta. Has this at the 6. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Let's go.
First carry here for Ashton Genty. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Troy Anderson, that time with the tackle.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9.
19. 19 tight. 19 tight. Hey, pass. Pass the 60. Pass the 60. Warrior 70. Steady.
With Sanders out of the pistol. Chased out to his right. His first throw is an interception. And he brings it back with a pick 6 and the Atlanta touchdown. So we started our game off with a touchdown, Brock, but not on the side of the scoreboard that we were expecting.
Yeah, first drive on defense, the goal is to get off the field, maybe even flip the field with field position. But to score points yourself, it's not something they honestly consider too much. That is until he started that return, baby. And they saw things lining up perfectly for it to happen.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. And it didn't look like he was seriously considering a return there, did it? So that touchback going to come out to the 35. Nice field position here for the Browns as they start out 1st and 10. Now they send their back in motion right. On 1st down, here's Sanders. It is caught left side. And they'll stop him here, but not before he gets out to the 47-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's going to be good for a Cleveland 1st down.
18. Panther 18. 16. Panther 11. Panther 11. Trap 60. Trap 60. Ready.
Operating from the gun. Here's Sanders. Taking a shot deep here. And they took their shots, but unsuccessful on that 1st down throw, swatted away by the defense.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. Quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football.
Catch made left side by Judy. And he's going to be hauled down on a gain across midfield, down inside the 45-yard line. Even 10-yard gain on the play. And that's a Browns 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. 70 Timberwolf.
Working out of the gun, Sanders. Once more into the hands of Judy. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. They get 19 on that pickup. And that's going to be good for a Cleveland 1st down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
Shotgun give here to Genty. And they're going to bring him down as as he makes it all the way to the 12. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. To the air on first down. Sanders. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
And he's going to score a touchdown, Cleveland. The Browns reach pay dirt for the first time this game. They're out to try and tack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Browns tie this game 7-7. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. He fields it from the 8. Making some progress here. And he showed some nice bursts on that run back, didn't he? Getting them all the way out to their own 40.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
The Falcons in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. They're going to run it here. It's Bijan Robinson. And this is across midfield. They're going to stop him at that 45-yard line. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And that is good enough for Atlanta first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 45.
Cougar Knights, back to 80. Cup Knights, 60. Dragon 60.
Pass play now. Taking the deep shot there on first down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete. Went for that big shot. They wanted to get that highlight the first time they touched the football.
Now, this group likes to be aggressive. An early incompletion's not going to deter them. Sharpshooters, they don't stop shooting threes because of one brick, and they won't stop pushing this ball down the field either.
Completed over the middle. And he's brought down at about that 47-yard line. Giving him an 18-yard pickup there. And that's a Falcon first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
They'll throw it here on first. Nabbed by Kyle Pitts. He gets this down to the 13-yard line.
50. 19 right.
13-yard line.
From the red zone now. Pressure coming, and he's taken down. The Browns got him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do get home that sack.
Throwing on seconds. And they will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. The Falcons finish up their opening drive. Kyle Pitts with a touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for Brock as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. And he'll take a knee in the end zone for a touchback. The Browns, nice field position here as they start out 1st and 10. First play is going to be again to Jency. And he powers ahead for about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity to play whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that run. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. They send a man in motion. Out of the gun, here's Sanders. Pass taken in by the rookie out of Ole Miss. He's out of bounds at the opposing 15-yard line. They rip up a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Into the red zone after that big pickup. It's 1st and 10 from the 15. They won't snap it in time. That is going to be the end of the first quarter. It's an early advantage for the Falcons. We'll make our return to Mercedes-Benz Stadium after this. Ready to go with the second quarter. And it's the Browns with it inside the red zone.
Go! 19-18. Ready, right?
Giving this to Genty. And this one's going the wrong way. Nice win for that defense as they send it backwards. And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock Huard, who got to have short memories. You tell me this too, defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
Buffalo 80. Buffalo 18.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Well, he already has himself one interception in his game, partner, and throws like that are going to find him another if he isn't careful.
Yep, those are the throws you want to intersperse and sprinkle into your passing game. Because if they become the norm and you're constantly thrown into coverage, that's when 1 pick becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, and on and on. I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
On 4th down and 5, the offense staying out there.
60 Eagles, 60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats.
They'll go. It's Sanders. And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand was forced, Brock. Had to try and go for it, but they turn it over on downs.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they do.
He'll be brought down just as he gets it up to the 24. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that is good enough for an Atlanta 1st down.
19 tight.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
70 Lions.
Trying to throw this from the gun. Not enough on this throw. It hits the turf instead of his man. Looking for his wide receiver there. So that brings up 2nd down.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
69 ready.
They'll throw on 2nd and 10. Complete. It's Bijan Robinson. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Up to the races, middle of the field. All the way, that's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons take a 13-point lead.
That's a good old-fashioned playground football. Even at the elementary school, find the fastest kid and let him run.
That one right down the middle. And the Falcons double their lead to 14. Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. Return starts from the goal line. Returnable from near the end zone. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort. Cleveland about ready to go. Here's 1st and 10. Sanders back to throw. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And this is going to be out of bounds. Defense catches up to him near that 45. Give him 24 yards on that one. And that's a Browns 1st down.
Hey, let's get those next-gen stats out here, Kate. See just how far he had to run between the snap of the football and when he finally got the throw. Did a beautiful job of settling down into zone coverage, even though it took him a whole lot of distance to get there.
Cut 19! Cut 19! Buffalo 18!
Sanders going to throw here on 1st. Finds him over the middle. On the move, past the 40. Into the red zone. And he's going to take this one in with the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns make it a one-score game in the 1st half. Now the PAT try coming up. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Browns chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Return coming from the 6. He's got a lane up past the 30. Great vision, gets him across midfield. And he's out of bounds. This is a great start for them already on their opponent's side of the field.
Hey, listen, I get it. I'm as guilty as anyone. So hyper-focused on offense and defense, often forgetting it's special teams in a play like that that can swing a game. What a great return now to start out on the short field. And you've got to believe all this offense is thinking is let's capitalize and find that end zone.
Only need the smallest little bit of yardage here. It is 2nd and inches.
60 even! 60 back!
Working now from the gun. Thrown for his running back, but he comes up empty, incomplete, and now they're facing 3rd down.
Just cannot afford right here, Kate, to go 3 and out. Not when you watched your counterpart score a touchdown. Got to cling to that lead and find a way to convert this 3rd down. It's a big one. And cut off some of the mojo from the other side.
3rd down, give to Robinson. This one's going to move him all the way down to the 25-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And that's a Falcon 1st down. Now, it has been an exciting one so far as we have reached our 2-minute warning. Falcons on top inside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's him on the in route. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And that is good enough for Atlanta 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 11.
Get it! 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 60, Dragon 60. Ready.
From the red zone on 1st. He's got it. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. The Browns take the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
Hey, you like these results on 1st. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on 2nd down. That playbook is wide open.
Come on. Set. Viking 8.
And he makes the play a full extension. That's a touchdown. The Falcons grow their lead just before halftime. Kyle Pitts with a touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. That one splits the uprights. And the Falcons double their lead to 14. Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. And this is going to bounce out of the end zone, so they will set up shop at the 35. Nice field position here for the Browns as they start out 1st and 10.
Check, smash. Left thing, nice. 60 average. 60 average.
Back to throw. Here's Sanders. Finds a seam down the middle. He's taken down, but not before he has this all the way to the opposing 40.
19 flagger. 19 flagger.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Go.
To the air, Sanders. Going all the way to the end zone here. Oh, no touchdown. It's intercepted. Jesse Bates in to pick it off. And the Falcons take over on his 5th interception of the season.
Intercepted. The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Falcons getting ready. Here comes 1st and 10.
18 flagger. 18 runner. 18 runner.
They're going play action. Finds his back. It's Robinson. And he's up across the 20 before going out of bounds.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Finds him on the slant. And he will finally catch up to him just a second before he can reach that 40. The Falcons spend the first of their 3 timeouts. We've set it down from the 37. Going now on 1st down. This is a heater going deep. It's grabbed inside the 30. Touchdown, Atlanta! The Falcons get more points to end a lopsided 1st half.
There's a good chance he wasn't even looking when that ball was released, but the crowd, well, the crowd let him know exactly what was going on. You could feel the swell of excitement. Whenever they take a deep shot, it's only going to get louder now as they were able to connect.
Ryan Fitzgerald set to kick off.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. And that kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. So we got a touchback. This drive will start after 35. Just 25 seconds remaining as they get all set up for 1st down.
Here we go. 70 rings. 70 Timberwolves. Cut 19. Cut 60. 19 Lions.
Back to work after throwing the pick. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. They were looking for him again, Brock, and for a moment, we thought he had another catch. But then that contact knocked the football from his hands.
Kind of become a victim of his own early success. Not too different, Kate, than a pass rusher that gets a sack. You know what happens? Got to slide to him, got to chip to him. You get a receiver that gets it going like this, you know more contact and more focus.
It isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. This defense would have tried to hang on to that momentum, Brock, as they go for another stop on 3rd down.
When they were in their defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go. Let that pass rush get home.
So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns have it on the tee, and they will kick it away here. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Atlanta about ready to go now. 1st and 10.
Bronco lead. 60 Eagles. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates. Mustang 19. Ready.
Airing it out to start this drive. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Well, we saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them. And the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Short pass brought in. And he'll get it up near the 38. 3-yard line before going down. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down. New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Pass play on 1st and 10. That one's cut along the left sideline. He's into the end zone for an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons grow the lead coming out of halftime. Fitzgerald up and good on the PAT. And the Falcons grow their lead yet again.
42, Browns 14.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff.
Fitzgerald set to kick off.
He's going to return it from a yard or two deep. They stop him right as he gets up past the 15.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Getting a pistol formation here first as they come to the line. Running from the pistol here with Jesse. This charge towards the line. It's right around 3 yards.
That's the kind of yardage. It's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now, second down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. With Sanders out of the pistol. Defender's there, and he forces the incompletion. Good play to bring about this 3rd down.
Well, I'll tell you what that deflection is all about is following the quarterback's eyes. DB knew where that throw was going. With that intuition, was able to get a hand on it and send it right out of bounds.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. 3rd and long, they're going to throw. That's caught for the first. And he's going to get him all the way up near that 30-yard line, Brock. Knocked down a step or two shy of it. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's going to be good for a Cleveland 1st down.
Dragon 60. Panther 11. Panther 79, bro.
Operating from the gun. Here's Sanders. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. So 20 yards on that play. And that's a Browns 1st down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things. Separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks. That's the trust. And then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
Working quickly here. Looking out of the gun. Sanders. Brought in right side. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's going to be good for a Cleveland 1st down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
60 Bobcats. 60 Bobcats. 7 Pirates. 7 go.
On 1st down, here's Sanders. And he's going to take this one in for the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns start the second half with some needed points.
Every touchdown's got its own story, but for me, Kate, that one's all about courage. Courage of that receiver to run all the way across the field. Courage of the quarterback to know it's going to take a little extra time. That courage paid dividends for 6.
2-point attempt coming. Sanders getting his offense set.
The Browns will line up for the 2-point conversion.
60 Eagles. Mustang 19.
All right, they're going to throw for it. And the conversion is no good as that pass falls incomplete. Trying to chip away at that lead, but just not able to figure it out there to take another 2 points off.
Yeah, every one of these calls at this juncture of the game tells a story, and right now that story being told is this crew is feeling the pressure trying to chip away at those points. Maybe a little over-aggressive, because now they're still down big.
Good starting spot here for the Falcons, Brock. This is 1st and 10.
Cowboy 8.
Shotgun snap. They'll throw. Makes the grab in bounds left side. He's this down to the 30. They get 35 out of that play. And that's a Falcon first down.
Kate, I've probably seen a million balls thrown in my life, and maybe even more, from the time I was in high school all the way here to the pros, and over all these decades of watching guys throw it. And I'll tell you what, I never get tired of watching a laser like that.
Right side, reeled in by Pitts. This is down to the 28 before the defense holds it.
That's not a big completion on the stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
Trap 60, trap 60.
Throwing on seconds. You look underneath here, Robinson. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And that is good enough for Atlanta first down.
First down.
Here we go. 60 Vikings, 60, 70 Timberwolves. Ready, right?
There's Robinson running his own read. And he'll pick up a little down to the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 3 for him, and that brings up 2nd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And it looks like he went out of bounds right at that 7-yard line. 5 yards on the play. They can just do that again. 3rd and 2 coming up.
You know, gains that seem a little tougher to get against a front, gosh, this QB just makes routine such effortless running to pick up a handful on that designed run.
Escapes the pocket, and he carries it in for the touchdown. The Falcons lengthen the lead at the end of the 3rd.
These touchdowns on the season haven't all looked the same, but boy, has he made a habit of scoring touchdowns on the ground.
That one right down the middle. And the Falcons continue piling on to this lead.
Browns 20.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff.
Ryan Fitzgerald set to kick off.
Has this at the 6. Finds some space. He's past the 30. Thankfully, only 1 quarter to play now. We've reached the end of 3 in this lopsided affair. It's the Browns with the ball, but they enter this 4th quarter at a massive deficit. New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38.
Let's go. 18 Rattler, 18 Hawk, 70 Ranger, 70. Ready.
Sanders going to throw here on first. And the first play of the series is going to be an incomplete pass intended for his running back there. And that brings up 2nd down.
That's just simply one of those situations, Kate, where I think you and I got to tip our cap to the defense. Really took away everybody. There was no outlet, and only an incompletion could be had.
70 Lions. Let's go.
This is Genty on 2nd. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop it. Offense in a hurry up here. To the air on first down. Sanders. It's a screen play to Genty. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Buffalo 18. Warriors 70.
Out of the gun, here's Sanders. Complete out to the right side. And he's going to take this one in for the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns making the scoreboard look a touch better. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Catches it at the 1. Ooh, and he can't shake the defense. They track him down in the backfield, and this 2-point attempt fails. Not really much of an avenue left for a comeback in this one, but they still have to try the onside kick here. And the Falcons cover up the kick. Well, I guess they kind of had to do it here, Brock.
Yeah, it's called a have to. Yeah, kind of have to at this point of the game, huh?
Okay, but like most things in this game, it did not work out for them.
Yeah, let's face it, even if they do recover that, probably not going to find a way to win. But this is a time where you work on things, where you do build to the following week. Got to find a way to flush this because it's just not been their kind of game.
Well, a lot of effort there, partner, but no results. He fought through that one stop, but only managed to get back to the line of scrimmage. Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on second down. Throwing from the gun. Throw left side is caught by Pitts. And he won't be able to take it all the way. Got close, though. Out of bounds just shy of that 10-yard line. Give him 32 on that play. And that's a Falcon first down.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Back up, 68, Panther 11, Panther 11.
Looking inside the red zone. Oh, he's got it. It's in close. And he's brought down after a great gain. That's going to set up first and goal.
4 yards. That's another Falcons.
Let's go now.
First down.
Here's Robinson. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Falcons keep adding to that fourth-quarter lead. It's a Bijan Robinson touchdown. This is Fitzgerald trying to tack on the extra point. Drifted near that upright, but he gets it to go. And the Falcons continue adding on to that lead.
26. Ryan Fitzgerald.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And he finally steps out, but it seems the damage has been done. That's down inside the enemy 40.
Well, at this point, they're going to take points any way they can get them, and that includes on special teams. He's had a ton of kicks in his way, a bunch of returns today, and he nearly made a pay with that one.
Ready?
Sanders back to throw. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. Looks like he came down on that sideline. Second down coming up.
There is not a route you throw as a quarterback where timing is more important than that outcut. If you are a millisecond late in this game, with the speed of these players, that ball is far and wide.
79 Broncos.
Running back sent in motion. Back to the air here on second. Sanders. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that's going to add some distance onto this upcoming third down.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
And he's stopped at the 31-yard line.
Pursue. It's why they do these drills all the time, Kate. You do it through the offseason, you do it through training camp, you do them in the regular season. Because when a defense plays with tremendous pursuit, you force fourth downs just as they did.
Now, can't blame him looking at that scoreboard, right? Might as well go for this on fourth down. Desperation time here. Finds him over the middle. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. Well, that was a big 3-yard gain because if instead of a turnover on downs, partner, it gets him the first.
First down.
Come on. Set, street, top 18, Pioneer.
Sanders setting the pass. And down he goes. The Falcons defense gets it done. That's the 2-minute warning here from Atlanta. Browns trying to do some window dressing. Gonna need something special here. 2nd and 20 following the sack.
Ready? 60 Bison. Check smash. 18 Runway. Buffalo 18. 19 tight. Dragon 60.
Back to throw. Here's Sanders. That one's cut along the left sideline. He's out of bounds on a gain that takes him into the red zone, Brock, inside the 15. him 25 on that play. And that's a Browns first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Offense is set. First and 10.
70 Lions. Riggs. Warriors 70. 79 Broncos.
From the red zone now. And that'll chip away some of this near the end. It's caught for a touchdown. The Browns putting up points in a game decided. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
And the call to go for it not awarded as the pass falls incomplete. Don't look up at the clock, everybody. That is certainly not their friend as they get set to try an onside kick. And the Falcons cover up the kick.
No question they wanted the ball back late, but you don't see many of these recovered by the kicking team in the NFL. You see even fewer recovered when they're actually expecting it, like they certainly were right there.
Oh, Gronk, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Finds his back. It's Robinson. And they'll stand him up and sit him down at the line.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. When one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
7 Pirates. Ready.
They're going to pass it here. Well, his first real mistake. That's intercepted. Grant Delpit in to pick it off. And the Browns are going to have it after his second interception of the season. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you've got to find that spot when you know the coverage won't be able to hold up, especially as you go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field. Hey, listen, these defenders in the league today, you throw a ball deep down the field like that, it turns into a 50-50 ball. More times than not, they can make a play and take it away just as they did.
Operating from the gun, here's Sanders. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Working out of the gun, Sanders. That's him on the quick hitter. And they've got to him just a step or two before he can reach the 40 as he's sent out. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum to keep that defense on its heels.
First down from the 42.
79 Broncos. 70 Timberwolves. Hey, smash Broncos. 70 Rangers. 19 sight. Warriors 70.
To throw now with Sanders. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Jesse Bates in to pick it off. And the Falcons get it back after making their third first-half interception.
Well, we're watching the defense not just generate turnovers, but really add to them. A return like that, think about it, that's 4 or 5 plays that you just saved your offense from as they try to make that interception, yet another one, count.
Finds London on the slant. And he's out of bounds on a gain that takes him into the red zone, Brock, inside the 15. He picks up 28 on the play. And that is good enough for Atlanta first down.
Let's go now.
At the 13-yard line.
Panther 60. 19. Trap 60. Knock 7 Pirates.
From the red zone on first. Pocket is in drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
That was a situation where I think the previous drive, really affected decision-making there. Coming off a pick, he wasn't about to challenge the coverage. Instead, well, he just took his medicine.
60 Bobcats. Let's go. 18, 18, Rattler, 18, Buffalo, 18. Steady.
He's going to throw this one. He completes it in traffic. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. So the Falcons earn the win in this one. And this thing of losing such a close one the week before, apparently still at the forefront of their minds. They got out there and rebounded nicely with a win this week.